Donald Trump's administration is a circus of betrayal, hypocrisy, and self-serving grift, with Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth as the latest casualty of Trump's disloyalty. In a move dripping with irony, Trump has publicly humiliated Hegseth by refusing to fund his absurdly bloated personal security demands, which include protection for his multiple ex-wives, a mess born of Hegseth's own scandals. This isn't just a budgetary spat. It's a glaring example of Trump's willingness to toss even his most loyal MAGA foot soldiers under the bus when they become liabilities. From Hegseth's reckless mishandling of classified information to Trump's profiteering presidency, the dysfunction and corruption at the heart of this administration are on full display, painting a picture of a weak, confused, and utterly humiliated Trump who can't even manage his own team. Let's dive into the dumpster fire. That is Donald Trump's second term, where loyalty is a one-way street, and allies like Pete Hegseth are discarded like yesterday's fast food wrappers. The latest scandal rocking the administration centers on Hegseth, Trump's hand-picked defense secretary, whose tenure has been a masterclass in incompetence, personal drama, and now a public betrayal so blatant it's almost comedic. According to the Washington Post, Hegseth demanded an unprecedented expansion of his personal security detail, requesting hundreds of Army Criminal Investigation Division (C) agents be reassigned from critical duties to protect not just himself, but his ex-wives, a direct result of his tangled web of affairs and divorces. Trump, the self-proclaimed champion of fiscal restraint, has flat-out refused to foot the bill, leaving Hegseth twisting in the wind. This isn't just a policy disagreement. It's a deliciously ironic humiliation that exposes Trump's cowardice. Corruption and inability to lead. The hypocrisy here is thicker than Trump's bronzer. Let's rewind to Trump's 2024 campaign, where he promised affordability, lower costs, and a leaner government. He sold himself as the businessman who'd run Washington like a tight ship, slashing waste and making life easier for everyday Americans. Fast forward to 2025, and the federal budget is a bloated mess, with no meaningful cuts in sight. Trump's refusal to fund Hegseth's security demands isn't about fiscal responsibility, it's about convenience. He's happy to let the budget balloon when it suits him, like when he's funneling billions to his own businesses or rewarding loyalists with cushy deals. But when it comes to Hegseth's excessive requests, suddenly Trump's playing the penny pincher, leaving his defense secretary to fend for himself. It's a classic Trump move: promise the world, deliver nothing, and then blame everyone else when the house of cards collapses. Hegseth, for his part, is no innocent victim. He's a walking embodiment of the grift and chaos that define Trump's orbit. A former Fox and Friends co-host, Hegseth built his career peddling lies and conspiracy theories to MAGA faithful, raking in millions while stoking division. In 2016, he was one of the loudest voices screaming about Hillary Clinton's private email server, calling her actions reckless and a threat to national security. He demanded she be fired on the spot and suggested anyone who mishandled classified information deserved jail time. Fast forward to 2025, and Hegseth is caught sharing sensitive military plans in not one, but two Signal group chats, one including his wife and brother, and another accidentally sent to a journalist from The Atlantic. The document in question, marked Secret not to be shared with foreigners, detailed a planned strike in Yemen. Hegseth's response? Dismiss it as fake news and blame disgruntled former employees. The irony is so rich it could fund Trump's next golf course. This is the same man who built his brand on sanctimonious outrage, now shrugging off his own national security blunder with the nonchalance of a toddler caught stealing cookies. Hegseth's hypocrisy doesn't end there. His personal life is a soap opera that would make reality TV producers blush. His first marriage to Meredith Shores ended in 2009 after he admitted to multiple affairs. His second wife, Samantha Daring, filed for divorce in 2017, just a month after Hegseth welcomed a child with his third wife, a Fox News producer. This tangled mess of relationships has led to his outrageous security demands with seed agents, culled from investigating serious crimes to play bodyguard for his ex-wives. An official told the Washington Post, "I've never seen so many security teams for one guy." The strain on the Pentagon's resources is staggering, with agents unable to perform their core duties because Hegseth's personal trauma demands constant babysitting. And yet, he has the audacity to parade himself as a family values conservative, all while his actions scream chaos and irresponsibility. Trump's refusal to fund this circus is the ultimate humiliation for Hegseth, a man who spent years groveling at the altar of MAGA. This is a guy who was handpicked by Trump, not for his qualifications, but for his fawning loyalty on Fox News. During the 2024 transition, when Trump's team presented a short list of defense secretary candidates, Trump reportedly demanded, "Where's Pete?" ignoring more experienced options in favor of his TV star buddy. But loyalty to Trump is a losing bet, and Hegseth is learning that the hard way. Trump's public support for Hegseth has been lukewarm at best, with statements like, "Pete is doing a great job," sounding more like a pat on the head than a ringing endorsement. Behind closed doors, sources say Trump is growing tired of the distraction and disorder Hegseth brings to the Pentagon, with some allies whispering he might implode on his own. This is Trump's mo: prop up his cronies until they become liabilities, then cut them loose without a second thought. Hegseth, once a shining star in Trump's orbit, is now just another pawn sacrificed to protect the king's ego. The broader picture of Trump's administration is even more damning. This is a presidency built on grift, dysfunction, and a complete disregard for the American people. While Trump claims to champion affordability, healthcare costs are skyrocketing, grocery prices are through the roof, and economic instability is at an all-time high. Senator John Ossoff of Georgia laid it bare, pointing out how Trump's policies have gutted manufacturing incentives that fueled job creation in states like Georgia. The Inflation Reduction Act, which drove private capital to industries like electric vehicles and semiconductors, was repealed to fund tax cuts for the ultra-wealthy, leaving working families to bear the brunt. Ossoff noted that business leaders in Georgia are paralyzed by Trump's erratic trade policies, unable to plan investments because the rules change on Trump's whims. Worse, these leaders are too terrified of White House retaliation to speak out, revealing a chilling culture of fear and intimidation. Trump's tariffs, sold as a tough guy move to protect American jobs, are nothing but a smokescreen for insider trading and personal enrichment. Sources estimate Trump has pocketed billions during his presidency, leveraging his position to funnel money to his businesses while his allies get rich off the chaos. The tariffs, far from helping workers, are driving up costs and crippling businesses that rely on stable trade policies. Ossoff's warning about the economic fallout is already coming true, with investment stalling and industries grinding to a halt. And yet, Trump has the gall to stand before the American people, claiming he's making life more affordable, while his policies do the exact opposite. It's a con so blatant, it's almost insulting, a testament to Trump's belief that his supporters are too gullible to see through the lies. Hegseth's tenure at the Pentagon is a microcosm of this chaos. Beyond his security demands, he's been embroiled in a string of scandals that highlight his utter unfitness for the job. In March 2025, he canceled 91 Defense Department research studies, including those on climate change impacts, dismissing the issue as crap on social media. He ordered U.S. Cyber Command to halt offensive operations against Russia, seemingly to appease Vladimir Putin, and invited alt-right activist Jack Posobiec to accompany him to NATO headquarters. These aren't the actions of a serious leader there. The tantrums of a Fox News host playing dress-up as a statesman. Hegseth's confirmation process was a circus in itself, with allegations of sexual assault, excessive drinking, and financial mismanagement at veterans organizations dogging him from the start. He narrowly secured the role with a 50-50 Senate vote, thanks to a tie-breaking vote from Vice President J.D. Vance, despite objections from GOP heavyweights like Mitch McConnell and Lisa Murkowski. The sexual assault allegations are particularly damning. In 2017, Hegseth was accused of raping a woman at a Republican conference, leading to a $50,000 settlement and a non-disclosure agreement. While he was never charged, the incident, combined with reports of public drunkenness and abusive behavior toward his second wife, paints a picture of a man wholly unfit to lead the world's largest military. Yet Trump stood by him, not out of loyalty, but because Hegseth's bombast and MAGA credentials made him a useful prop until now. The Signal Chat scandals, where Hegseth shared classified information with unauthorized individuals, have drawn bipartisan condemnation. Democrats like Senators Tammy Duckworth and Chuck Schumer have called for his resignation, with Duckworth branding him a threat to our national security. Even some Republicans, like Representative Don Bacon, have broken ranks, citing Hegseth's lack of experience and chaotic management. Hegseth's response to these scandals is pure Trumpian deflection. Blame the media, call it a hoax, and double down. During a press conference in June 2025, he threw a tantrum over reports of a leaked Pentagon assessment on a U.S. attack on Iran's nuclear facilities, accusing journalists of failing to celebrate America's military might. He lashed out at his former Fox News colleague Jennifer Griffin for daring to ask about satellite imagery, revealing a thin-skinned cribbly who can't handle scrutiny. This is the same man who reposted a video advocating for the repeal of women's right to vote, aligning himself with Christian nationalist extremists who believe women should submit to their husbands. It's a stark reminder that Hegseth isn't just incompetent, he's dangerous, pushing fringe ideologies while mishandling the nation's defense. Trump's handling of Hegseth's scandals is a masterclass in weakness and cowardice. Rather than fire him outright, Trump has offered tepid defenses, saying things like, "I think he's going to get it together," or "Pete is doing a great job. Ask the Houthis." These half-hearted endorsements are classic Trump. Keep the loyalty charade going until the heat gets too intense, then cut bait. Sources close to the White House say Trump is privately frustrated with Hegseth's distraction and disorder, with some allies already searching for a replacement. The fact that Trump can't even manage his own defense secretary without public drama is a damning indictment of his leadership. This is a man who thrives on chaos, but crumbles under the weight of actual governance, leaving his administration in a perpetual state of disarray. The broader implications of this dysfunction are chilling. Hegseth's mismanagement has left the Pentagon in chaos, with senior aides fired, a culture of fear and toxicity pervading the department, and critical operations at risk. Former staffer Colin Carroll warned that the Pentagon might not withstand a major crisis under Hegseth's leadership, comparing it to the chaotic U.S. withdrawal from Kabul in 2021. Meanwhile, Trump's broader agenda is unraveling. His crackdown on Washington, D.C., with federalized law enforcement and National Guard deployments, has been criticized as an overreach, with Hegseth's remarks about deploying troops potentially violating the Posse Comitatus Act. His economic policies are failing working families. His foreign policy is a mess of appeasement and bluster, and his administration is a revolving door of loyalists turned scapegoats. This brings us to the moral rot at the heart of Trump's presidency, a point powerfully articulated by Representative Jasmine Crockett and Governor Gavin Newsom. Crockett, a civil rights attorney, has called out the administration's assault on democracy, particularly in Texas, where GOP Governor Greg Abbott has targeted a black female lawmaker with unconstitutional actions reminiscent of plantation era control. Newsom echoed her concerns, warning that the normalization of such abuses is eroding America's standing as a beacon of freedom. Their call to action is clear. This isn't about partisan politics. It's about right versus wrong. Trump's administration, with its blend of incompetence, corruption, and authoritarianism, is dismantling the very principles that make America exceptional. The fact that a man like Hegseth, unqualified, scandal-ridden, and reckless, can rise to Defense Secretary is a symptom of this decay. Trump's betrayal of Hegseth is just the tip of the iceberg. This is a man who thrives on loyalty but offers none in return. His allies are useful until they're not, at which point they're discarded with the same callousness he shows his supporters. Trump's belief that his base is stupid is evident in every policy failure, every broken promise, and every scandal he sweeps under the rug. Hegseth, with his laundry list of personal and professional failures, is the perfect poster child for this administration. A grifter elevated by a grifter, only to be humiliated when the spotlight is too bright. The chaos at the Pentagon, economic fallout, the erosion of democratic norms, all of it stems from Trump's weak, confused, and corrupt leadership. He's not the strong man he pretends to be. He's a bumbling con artist who can't even keep his own house in order.